This is 5 on your side at 10. Focused on you.
Tonight, a man is behind bars accused of kidnapping and murdering a Clayton woman earlier this week. Antoine Mosby faces several charges, including the murder of Michelle Hampton. Good evening, everyone. I'm Robert Townsend. St. Louis police arrested Mosby yesterday. Now, investigators believe the suspect and victim knew each other, but are not saying the nature of their relationship. Hampton was kidnapped outside her Clayton home Wednesday before being forced to drive to multiple ATMs and withdraw money. Police found her hours later shot multiple times in a North City alley. Court documents say a lot of the crime spree was caught on surveillance cameras. Now, Mosby is being held without bond at the St. Louis City Justice Center. He's facing 20 charges, including first-degree murder, kidnapping, robbery, and endangering the welfare of a child. His first court appearance has not been scheduled yet. Hampton was 37 years old and leaves behind a 15-year-old daughter. We'll keep you updated on this story on air, online, and of course on the 5+ app as we get more details. New tonight, Eureka police are investigating a bank robbery. This happened around 11:30 this morning at the Commerce Bank on East 5th Street. Witnesses say the suspect entered the business and demanded money from bank tellers. Now then, they say he got away. Police say this is the suspect's truck seen here driving near Elk Trails and Fawn Meadows. Anyone with any information is asked to call Eureka Police or leave an anonymous tip to Crime Stoppers. Of course, that number is 866-371-TIPS.
We have to look out for one another, stay on top of things so that we can not crumble.
Many in St. Louis got a fresh start today at Harris-Stowe State University. That's where the Second Chance Summit took place. Today's program offered a bunch of services, including parking ticket forgiveness, amnesty programs for traffic violations, and even criminal expungement. Organizers say this event can help people move forward from their past struggles.
This is just an opportunity for people to just have one less thing to worry about going into the holiday season and also just period going into the new year.
The NAACP also stopped by this afternoon to discuss criminal justice reform. Another summit is in the works for next year. Well, it's a nice and mild autumn night as we take a live look over St. Louis Lambert International Airport tonight. More than 200,000 people are expected to pass through TSA checkpoints during the Thanksgiving travel season. Now, many are wondering the big question, what will the weather look like? Meteorologist Gary Frank joining us now with the first look at the forecast.
Yeah, quiet outside right now, and we'll continue to stay that way into the overnight hours. It's mild as the clouds have settled back in. We had a brief break during the day, which allowed us to warm up nicely, but those clouds have settled back in. Like I mentioned, still, you'll see that southerly influence, and as that cold air finally works its way out, that wind will really pick up. It's kept us off to the southwest much warmer. We stay that way pretty much. Into the overnight hours, I think we drop into the 40s or mid to upper 30s. So for the most part, well above freezing, no issue there. And I think our main weather impact over the next few days is the fact that it is going to be warm for Sunday and even a little warm on Monday, but things will change. We have more rain by the holiday, and that's what's going to cause some travel plans in the region. We'll break that down where we're going to expect those issues coming up shortly.
What's your favorite part about Winterfest so far?
Skating. Skating, same. Skating. Ice skating. Skating. Ice skating.
A lot of cute faces there. Today, Winterfest kicked off at Keener Plaza. Folks can get into the holiday spirit a little early with s'mores, heated igloos, a brand new pop-up bar, twinkling lights, and of course, lots of skating continuing now through December 31st. That's always a fun-filled event.
Through the help of the support of the community, the Salvation Army is able to make Christmas brighter.
Walking around downtown St. Louis tonight was a little brighter than usual. The Salvation Army kicking off the holiday season with its annual Christmas tree lighting at Keener Plaza. The tradition dates back some 77 years in St. Louis. New tonight, our Andy Kroll was at that ceremony talking to St. Louisans about what makes this time of year so merry and, of course, bright.
3, 2, 1.
For many, the best time of year is here once again.
I'm excited to see the tree lighting, and then I'll probably get some cocoa.
PLK, peace, love, and kindness. to everybody.
Love was certainly in the air on Saturday night for newly engaged Lafayette Square couple Kayla McIntosh and Jonathan Myers.
I love social events like this that really bring a community together. It's really nice to see during the Christmas season how many people from downtown come to this area and how life can just be brought in as simple as having a Christmas tree lit.
Though next December will look a little different.
When's the wedding? Potentially next year, maybe next December, because Christmas is my favorite holiday, so we'll see.
Partners Peter Qualino and Kimberly McConnell said they had to come, even though Peter had surgery on his jaw and trachea less than 3 weeks ago.
He had throat cancer 6 years ago, and
6 years ago.
That late, it killed the bone.
Just some of the thousands in Keener Plaza for the Salvation Army's tree lighting, highlighting the Red Kettle campaign emceed by our own Rennie Knott. In January, a new program is kicking off to battle human trafficking.
So a lot of folks don't realize that the state of Missouri is number 4 in all the states in the country that suffer from human trafficking.
Recently, the Salvation Army has come under fire because of past conflicts with the LGBTQ community. The organization says it's committed to serving everyone.
The Salvation Army is here to serve our most marginalized neighbors regardless of the color of their skin, what part of St. Louis that they grew up in, how they might identify today, or their sexual preference. The Salvation Army is here to meet the needs of suffering humanity.
St. Louis continuing to remember the reason for the season.
It's really important to give back. There's a lot of unfortunate people out here, and so if we can bring holiday spirit to them and their children as well, it's extremely important.
Annie Krall, 5 on your side.
If you'd like to donate or become a Salvation Army bell ringer, you can register online on our website at KSDK.com in the As Seen on TV section. Well, Thanksgiving is just 5 days away, but many people are still struggling to put that holiday meal on the table. Today, some local organizations stepped up to help feed those in need.
This is not a United Methodist event. This is a community event that's helping people.
Food trucks crammed into the parking lot at St. Andrew's United Methodist Church in Dalewood, handing out 700 meals to families in need. It's set up by the local nonprofit Food is Love, plus 50 other volunteers from local churches and groups. Now, organizers say they've seen more people come every year, but they hope one day the community won't need it.
There's no food deserts with a food truck. It has wheels. It can get to an exact location in time and space. So it allows us to be more agile and especially reaching people in a more effective way.
The more successful we are, the more people we reach. That's not a good thing. We hope to get to a point where we show up with 7 food trucks and nobody shows up.
This Wednesday, St. Andrew United Methodist Church in Florissant will give out everything you need for your Thanksgiving meal. Now, anyone is welcome to come to the drive-through event starting at 4:30 p.m.
Just giving back, watching the smiles on people's faces. Just recall last year, brought tears to some people's eyes, which is very, it's heartfelt.
The Ferguson Police Department also spending their Saturday morning helping people in need. Chief Troy Doyle and the Demetrius Johnson Foundation teamed up to give 70 turkeys with all the trimmings to more than 50 families. Now, the tradition has been going on for several years now. Many more local organizations are offering free holiday meals. For more information on when and where those are, just text the word THANKS to 314-425-5355 and we will send you a link. Well, a very special event took place on Adoption Saturday this weekend in Clayton. Today in St. Louis County Family Court, 3 numbers adding up, 1, 24, and 555.
We are here to do this. I have a clean copy of the judgment and decree of adoption.
One child, Kevon, adopted by Keith and Michelle Johnson through the Foster and Adoptive Care Coalition.
Hey, cheese!
24, that's the total number of kids who officially found a forever home in St. Louis County Family Court on Adoption Saturday.
Thank you.
And Kevon is the 555th child to be featured on A Place to Call Home, who was either adopted or matched for possible adoption.
A Place to Call Home is sponsored by Vantage Credit Union.
For today's a place to call.
For decades, Foster and Adoptive Care Coalition has partnered with 5 on Your Side. We met Kevon and his new family, complete with built-in brothers and an older sister, earlier in the week at the World's Fair Pavilion. The location, Forest Park, has significance for Kevon's new family.
About a year ago, this is where Kevon's initial visit was with Michelle, Keith, and their children. So we all met here initially at the Jewel Box, and we walked around the Jewel Box and then walked over to the Playscape and played together.
Adoption officials say this case has added significance. Michelle and Kevon are related.
So Michelle is Kevon's second cousin on his maternal side, and that's how he was located through our family finding investigators.
But I've always wanted to be able to be into foster care. I wanted to be able to own my own group home one day and to be able to own have siblings be able to stay together. So I wanted to be able to keep families together.
Like so many families, this one is the product of a place to call home.
So our partnership with KSDK 5 on Your Side is huge. It is a really amazing tool that us recruiters use in our adoption recruitment for kids just like Kevon who are looking for their forever families.
Here we go.
And with that, court is adjourned on another quality connection. It's an awesome community event. Foster and Adoptive Coalition officials tell us they raised more than $2 million during Foster Hope Day way back on November 14th. More than 900 donations were made. That's absolutely amazing. Tonight, people from across the country are being recognized for their inspiring and extraordinary displays of sportsmanship. The 2024 Musical Awards kicked off at 7 tonight at the Stiefel Theater downtown. Now, some of this year's honorees included broadcasting icon Bob Costas and NFL legend Larry Fitzgerald Jr. Our own Mike Bush emceed tonight's event alongside comedy legend Billy Crystal. Not a bad night at all for those guys to get out and enjoy St. Louis. Gary's back with our another look at the forecast. Hey, Gary.
Yeah, good evening. As we continue to look outside, very pleasant conditions. If you've been walking around getting ready to prepare, roast those chestnuts on an open fire as you walk around Missouri Botanical Garden. It is a very pleasant night for that because it's not as cold, but we'll see some cold nights the rest of the week as your family starts to work their way in town. 44, a southeast breeze at 6 miles an hour. That's a big key for us as we have that southeast breeze. We got to 55, 35 was our low, still not freezing officially in the city. And for us weather weenies or statistical enthusiasts alike, we still have not hit the freezing mark. Our latest first freeze in the city of St. Louis, number 5. We're not going to hit it tomorrow, but we'll see if we can get the record. I don't know that we're going to get that just yet, and it's certainly not going to be tonight, like I mentioned. 40s as that wind shifts out of the south, and especially tomorrow, the wind is really going to pick up. We're going to be in the mid-60s with a south breeze at 10 to 15 miles an hour, gusts to 30 miles an hour, and that's going to be a big key for our warmth, and it's going to keep us warm tomorrow night as well. We look to the northwest. That's where things are a little bit more active, and we've talked about the atmospheric river and the impressive low-pressure center that's been off of the coast, the west coast, and create all the flooding. But as that system starts to work its way, and at least a part of it will work its way over the Front Range, we'll see it start to strengthen and give us opportunities for rain and snow in the region. Now, for us right now, I still expect this to be rain, but I want to play this out through Wednesday, and you'll see perhaps if you're traveling on Wednesday, some delays in Denver. That would be an airport regionally I think we start to see. And then if you're driving to Chicago on Wednesday, watch how this starts to pick up late Wednesday into Thursday. I think at this point, that's where the cold air stays. We're going to be on the rain side of things, but if you're traveling north on 55, expect delays even in the airport. Now, it's not overly cold, but there will certainly be accumulating snow in the northern half of Illinois and areas in northern Missouri. So just keep that in mind. We're right on the line, and I think because of the temperature, you'll notice we really don't get all that cold. These temperatures are much colder. They're in the 20s to the north. You'll notice mid-30s. We're still above freezing by Thursday morning. So as a result, I think that we're not going to see much more than rain with perhaps a few flakes of snow for the early Thanksgiving forecast. And then over the next few hours, we don't warm up all that much either, but it's going to be cold the rest of the week. Monday, we'll get to 58 early in the morning because we only dropped down to about 54. Temps fall, and then it's cooler with a few showers Wednesday into Thursday, and then it's starting to feel more like the end of November.
I'm looking forward to that big warm-up tomorrow.
There you go.
Thanks, Gary. Corey Miller is next. He has the latest in sports.
This 5 on Your Side Sports Report is sponsored by Telly Tire and Auto Centers, driving your way since 1942.
City SC fired the club's first head coach, Bradley Carnell, back in July. They played the rest of this past season with interim head coach John Hackworth. Now it sounds like there will be a new man in charge when the team takes the field again in 2025. Multiple outlets, including ESPN, are reporting that City SC will name former Swedish soccer star Olof Mellberg as the club's next head coach. The 47-year-old had previously been coaching in Sweden. As a player, Mellberg was a star, making 117 international appearances for Sweden and also played for Aston Villa, among others. ESPN and others are also reporting that John Hackworth will remain with the club as director of coaching. This may be the best time on the high school sports calendar. The winter sports are just getting going, and it's time to hand out some hardware for the fall sports. We had plenty of playoff action around St. Louis on Saturday. Althoff faced Camp Point Central, the team that beat them in the playoffs last year, for a trip to the state title game. And the most electric player in the area was at it again. Give it to De'Air Hill Jr. and let him go to work. Breaks this one for about a 60-yard touchdown. Althoff on top. And you know what? Just run the De'Air Hill Jr. play again. He breaks off another long touchdown run and had over 300 yards on the ground as Althoff wins 58-19 to advance to the 1A state championship. East St. Louis hosting Oak Lawn for a trip to the 6A title game, and the Flyers did what they've done all year, dominate. To Ryan Martin with the carry, up the sideline and into the end zone. Touchdown East St. Louis. Later on, it's Larevius Woods who gets the carry. He goes down at the 1-yard line, but no problem. He burst in on the next play for a score as East St. Louis crushes Oak Lawn 48-0 to get back to the state title game for the 5th straight time. Parkway North and former Luther North QB Dakari Hollis hosted those Crusaders in a Class 4 quarterfinal. Jonathan Moore puts it up. Trey Bass outruns my camera and runs into the end zone for 6 for Lutheran North. Later on, what a play this was. Parkway North's Colin Griffin mosses his opponent, shoves him down, jukes out another guy, and then takes it in for a touchdown. My goodness. Later on, Javon Blackman gonna barrel in for Lutheran North. This came all the way down to the very end, but Lutheran North comes away with a 24-18 victory to advance. Cardinal Ritter hosting Lafayette in Class 5 quarterfinal action. Robbie Preckle, direct snap, jumps over a guy on the ground, stiff arms another guy on his way to the end zone. Lafayette up 7-0. Lancer defense now. Brady Calderon comes flying in to intercept Carson Boyd. Lafayette thinking upset. Later on, it's Jack Beal to Terrence Bills, who weaves his way all the way to another Lafayette touchdown, and the Lancers go on the road and knock off the back-to-back state champs of Cardinal Ritter 30-18. Now that is an upset. Soccer state title day at Lindenwood. Vianney against Ladue in Class 3. Ladue's Ahmad Shebel converts to break a scoreless tie in the first half, and Ladue goes on to win the state championship 3-0 over Vianney. And that will do it for sports.
Well, it was a busy day for our local college teams. The 23rd ranked Mizzou Tigers beat the Mississippi State Bulldogs 39-20, and they covered the under during the live win. Getting their 8th win, they're going to face Arkansas next weekend in Columbia to close out the regular season. Also, you got the 25th ranked Fighting Illini. They beat Rutgers 38-31 on the final play. If they went for it on 4th down, they also have 8 wins so far this season. They're going to play Annie Krall's Northwestern next weekend. And then you've got the St. Louis Blues. They traveled to battle the Islanders in New York, but it was a tough loss for the Note, who once again lost 3-1. The Blues are going to face the New York Rangers, so they're staying in town on Monday night.
Man,
I'm like, where is he? And he's like, he's just on a big adventure, Mom. He's coming back.
Search for a lost stuffed animal turned into a mission to help hospitalized kids this holiday season. Now, when this woman's 4-year-old son lost his Stitch plushie, Amanda Palazzolo offered a reward for its safe return. The stuffed animal was her son's best friend while he was in and out of the hospital. Luckily, though, Stitch was returned. Now, during the search, Palazzolo's inbox was flooded with people offering to donate or buy a new one for her son. Listen to this. But she had a better idea. It's called Operation Stitch, which will help give other kids in the hospital their own best friends. A donation box is set up at the Jim Chenery Chevrolet GMC car dealership. Of course, that's in Union. Now you can drop off stuffed animals there until December 20th. That's truly putting the holiday spirit into action. What a cool idea.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
I love it.
Well,
you got a final look at that weather?
yeah, we are. We're going to talk about, some pleasant conditions over the next few days. And, if you're out and about, play a little tennis, I think, for the next couple of days. Keegan will be out there tomorrow hanging out. And the rest of the next few days, quiet and cold. Time to be indoors for the holidays.
Leading up to Thanksgiving, kind of rainy?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
All right, Gary, thanks. Well, that's all of our time for 5 on your side at 10. Have a great evening, everyone.